Leave Billified a voicemail anytime on the Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram line at 585-206-8866.
Bill Moran, love the show. Listen to every episode, blah, blah, blah. You know, all that good stuff. The other day you were talking about upper deckers, and you were also talking about craps that don't flush down in the first flush. Whenever that happens to me, I always want to name it. So I started out naming him Michael Phelps, but I like Michael Phelps. So then I started naming him David Hasselhoff because he's a shitty actor. He's a good swimmer, but he's a shitty actor. That's all I got to say. True.
And be sure to like and subscribe to Billified wherever you get your podcast.
A lot to digest there.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest there. You get the floaters.
Yeah.
You know? It's always nice when you flush and you don't check. And
leave a surprise for somebody else.
And then somebody else. You open up. I got a text the other day from Phil Sherman.
Oh, Phil Billy.
Phil sent a picture of his bowel movement.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He goes, remember back in the day? So I just deleted it. I did not respond. I did not do anything. I don't want to encourage that. I actually should have responded in some way.
I could actually smell Phil's pictures. That's
This was the biggest long. I mean, that was
a solid long.
That was a monster.
That means he still looks down and qualifies. Is that a guy thing or what?
Well, you got to look down.
Well, here's the weird.
Find blood.
No, hang on. That's an interesting point that you bring that up. But what I will say is, he's taking the picture. There's no toilet paper in the bowl to get, because usually you wipe and the toilet paper would land on top.
Then you look down.
So there's no toilet paper in the bowl. So that means he's standing up, and his ass has to look like a Rorschach test when he pulls it apart.
If there's a clinger in there too, you sometimes can even drop the clinger on the floor.
All right. Oh my God.
People download this during breakfast.
Never mind. Just saying. Oh God, that's. Well, the upper deckers. I have never believed that upper deckers really happen. Because I've never known anybody to do an upper decker. I know that there's lots of talk of them. I've never known anybody. I've known a lot of.
I had college roommates who did it.
I knew a lot of people who were like nutty people. Like did a lot of shit, a lot of strange, bizarre stuff. I don't know anybody that did an upper decker.
Yeah, but to that point though, a lot of public toilets don't have that tank up top. They're just pipes.
I understand.
You got to have a specific. You got to have the tank.
I'm saying like at people's parties and things like that. There was talk of someone should do an upper decker.
Upper decker is somebody's house.
But
you want
I'm
upper deck in a restaurant where you're not hurting anybody but the workers there. You don't want to hurt. I go to Dan's house and drop an upper decker. I feel like a dick.
This is my thing, but that's why I'm saying like I've never known anybody to drop an upper decker. I don't know anybody. Then I didn't. So I always thought it was just one of these. Bravado, we should do an upper deck, which I always thought was kind of stupid anyway, and never even intrigued me. And then we go to Jimmy Z's, and he says he knew who did it. He knew who did it,
yeah,
which is awful.
I'm still getting texts. Who was it?
Yes,
it's not the same effect, but could you upper deck with a tinkle instead of a doo-doo?
Yeah, sure, but that would clear out faster.
Oh yeah,
that would clear out faster, and that would be a little bit nicer actually than doing it. One of the things that I didn't mention, Messi and the Michelob Ultra ad, is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Lionel Messi, the soccer player.
Yeah. So he's standing around with a bunch of guys. You'll see this. You saw this during the game. We're taping this before the game, but he's standing around with people having and orders another round. Kegs kicked. So she's got to go get another one. They're at some beach resort. So people are playing soccer out there, and he goes out and just runs. I mean, you're seeing people sliding at him and big waves of sand coming up in his face and all this stuff, and he's just running through. And then at the very end, they go, "Mr. Messi, your beer." And so, or your Michelob Ultra. And so he passes it off to somebody, and they score, and you would have swore this guy felt like he just won the World Cup. The person who scores is some other person on the beach. So it's not bad.
Do you remember the Super? It was 2014. It was in the Seahawks. I think beat the Broncos or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. And there was a Super Bowl Babies commercial. Did you ever hear about this? Where people, like, after the Super Bowl, their team won, so they went and had relations.
Oh, yeah.
So they did a commercial with all the Super Bowl babies.
They did?
Do you remember that? I worked with the guy who was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." I'm like, okay.
Why is it disgusting?
I don't know.
Who did you work with? That said it was
I'm not going to say who I worked with at the time, but he was kind of like rolling his eyes about it.
Oh, I know who it was.
But the point is,
I know exactly
yeah.
who it was.
But it's like, but it's like, I in a way, I was kind of like, I don't think it's disgusting, but I didn't understand why they had to make a commercial about it. Because what was the point? Like, like football is awesome. Like, we got to pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
The NFL
was
is
it an NFL commercial?
Yes, it was an NFL commercial.
We're bringing up the next generation.
Yeah, right. I know for a fact that my brother Ryan was born exactly 9 months after wide right. So my father probably needed to be cheered up.
Yeah.
And then boom.
He went wide right.
He literally was born
to the wide right. He went to the wide right ovary.
He was born 9 months to the day after wide right.
That's interesting. There is the E-Trade babies are back. They play pickleball.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they play pickleball now, and they talk a little smack.
Did they bring the puppy monkey baby thing back? Is that true? I heard a rumor about that.
I don't know. I didn't see. I didn't see. I'm sure. I'm just sure some had to be held back, right?
Yeah.
Some of the commercials. I don't know. So we complain about bad service at restaurants. People have, right? You'll say something or bad service anyway.
I never send my stuff back though, because if you complain the first time, what's the point?
I was driving 490 East yesterday, and in the passing lane, going slower than traffic with their turn signal still on, is a big Amazon van. And it's one of those, it's holding up traffic. So now it's like a parade. It's over in the left lane, and it's driving, and it's going past Fisher, where I think it's 55. I think they were doing somewhere between 47 and 50. Have that. I couldn't tell. So I get around the truck. I look back, and you can see the turn signals on, the blinker, because it's going around the headlight is flashing like it's going to try to get into the right lane. But it's just going nice and slow. Everybody's trying to get around it. And I go, what is going on? You want 2-day delivery? It's going to take 2 days for this guy to fucking drive from the west side to the east side. It was the most frustrating thing. And I thought, could you complain about, we used to have those 1-800, how's my driving?
Call 1-800 each.
Right? But could you complain about this? So then I'm looking, and it looks like an older dude behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Or is it someone who's high? I mean, Amazon is one of those.
Hey, man.
Well, it's just one of these jobs where I'm not saying it's not physically demanding and you got to think, but you load it up, you go, it's kind of rote, right?
Yeah.
In your routine of things. You don't have to make decisions. You make decisions while driving.
You got to move, though. You got to move. They're timed.
I figured.
UPS, my neighbor used to work for UPS.
Yes.
Their routes are timed. They have, I think he said, like 18 seconds to get from the truck to the porch back to the truck.
Oh, yeah. They wear these GPS trackers. Same thing with post office workers.
Yes.
It sucks.
You're right. So you want to see how,
Thanks, Zuckerberg.
You want to go as fast as you can. Look, they do it at the drive-thru. I worked a drive-thru for a radio thing once, and they have a timer up there as to how long it was.
Apparently not at Popeyes.
Tim Hortons. Popeyes is coming out with wings. They got a big ad.
I saw that.
They got a big ad.
You know who's got a great drive-through and they only have one window? Wendy's. Those people do not screw around, man.
Really?
They are quick. Doesn't matter what Wendy's
But your
is.
order's never right.
Okay, that's part of it.
They're fast, but I ordered a cheeseburger.
When was the last time? When was the last time you went to Wendy's?
About 6 months ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All right, so maybe they've gotten worse since then. I don't know. I'm going, but it's crazy. This guy could have caused an accident.
Yeah.
Right? People, you're coming around a turn.
But you're under that pressure.
Yeah, but he's driving 50. I couldn't tell. Like, are they told to drive a certain speed?
A lot of commercial vehicles have the regulators in them where they can't
regulator.
go more than 55.
Oh, well,
or like
maybe-
a bus can't
get
go
in
over
the
55.
other goddamn lane.
They
Then
have to
I
stop
don't
at
know
all,
what's
to
the
stop at all
story.
the
is.
railroad crossings.
Yes, right.
This Amazon truck stops at all railroad crossings.
I was getting.
It's like Danny at a crumble cookie.
I was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Well, Danny had an incident yesterday. He's at the car wash.
Okay, I think Delta Sonic is like, God does not want you to go to Delta Sonic.
Why?
Delta Sonic
Because they're always built on these main strips, and it's like the Wild Wild West as far as cars and rules and parking. Like nobody obeys it. People go into any lane they want. So what they try
It was
to do
nice here yesterday. So
Yeah.
the car wash was ridiculous.
Right. But so what they've done in Henrietta is that they added like 4 lanes to go to the car wash, which is awesome because it speeds things along. So there's 4 garages and there's 2 car washes. They all funnel together. But you have to go, whoever gets there first gets to go there first. Most people understand that. But on the way out, there's 2 car washes and there's 2 ways out to go to the left to get your car either dried or you can take off and go down the road. Okay. And they have these tall blue cones.
Yeah.
This woman in a Prius with glasses
qualified. Woman, Prius, and glasses.
Oh, I could go even.
One
I could go even further in qualifications, but I won't.
No.
Yes, white hair.
Okay.
She has these. There's these cones there, and
How big are they?
they're about 5 feet tall.
Okay, so they're big.
Oh, you could see them.
You can see them.
Okay, and she's driving, and she's dragging one cone in the front of the car and one cone in the back. Now I'm pulling out, and I'm seeing her. She's supposed to go before me because she got there first. The problem is that she's dragging these cones, and all of a sudden I got to stop. Now there's a car coming up behind me. I got 30 seconds to help this poor lady. Throw it in park, run around, and I'm trying to get this cone out from underneath her car, but at the same time without trying to scratch the car, because guess who's going to get the blame if you do that, right? I pull
Yeah,
it
but
out.
you don't know what it's hooked on underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So I have to
It's
push
I'm
it
not worried
in.
about scratching the car. I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm
Does
worried
she have
about the old
something
woman running me over.
Does she have something hanging underneath? It's a Prius. You'll be fine.
So she,
It's fine.
well, so it's hooked up, and so I push it in, somehow miraculously get this thing out like I'm superhuman, right?
Yeah.
And she goes in the back and gets her out. She goes, "What happened?" I go, "You ran over some cones." I didn't even see it.
That's a scary.
Where are they? I'm like, I don't know, but. And she goes, she shakes her head. I go, "Yeah, you're welcome." I yelled this to her. "You're welcome." She doesn't. I don't think she heard me because she got in the car so fast. And then she drives by. She's giving me this terse wave, like, "Hey, thanks for helping me." I'm like, "Douchebag, you're carrying 2 cones.
I
You
wonder
didn't
if it
see the
happened
cones."
inside. I wonder if it happened inside the car wash.
No, it couldn't have, because the cones are there to keep you in line. So when you pull into the dryer area,
So-
where they towel dry you to keep you in line. But it's like God does not want you to go to Delta Sonic.
Here's a pro tip for you. Screw Delta Sonic. Go see our friend Purse Pisser at Splash. Coming soon to Henrietta.
Oh, okay. I'll sign up for that. Do they have like automatic washes? Like in other words, you pay one price for the
They
month?
do.
Okay.
They do.
Then I may go to see Splash then.
They're coming where Bar Louie used to be.
Because holy cow, Delta Sonic, it doesn't
Sucks.
matter if it's Buffalo, Rochester, they are the wild, wild west of cars. All rules out the window. There's no turning lanes. It's just every man for
That was
themselves.
very nice of you to do that. Very, very, very kind of
Well,
you.
we would have had
I would have watched. I would have just seen how far down the road she tried to get, because a Prius is low to the ground.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm thinking, because I once did they have these sport driving labs that they go around the country, right? And they'll set up at different places. So they had one in the parking lot at the Buffalo Bills, off lot 2,
Right.
At Bills Stadium. And what they'll do is they just set up a cone path. You get to drive. You pick your car. And so I forget how much it costs. It's kind of a silly thing because it's not like you're at a Watkins Glen. You're in a parking lot. But you're behind the wheel of a Lamborghini or Ferrari, your choice. I chose the Lamborghini, and they don't even let you shift it. They paddle shift it for you. So you get a driver. They take you through the course once. Then they pull over, but it's all cones. It's all cones. Now, these cars are really low. So your pit, like, race car pit, are mini cones that separate the pit. And I remember being kind of nervous because it's like a cone course. And I'm like, and it, each time you're getting closer to your turn. And then what they have you, they go, if you think you're going to scratch or hit something, you pay a little more money in insurance. Like they try to charge you.
think you're going to hit it.
Ahead of time, Kevin. Ahead of time.
Yeah.
This Motorsports Lab ahead of time.
That'd be me.
So I'm signed up. My kids are there. I'm married. My wife's there. Everybody's watching. All these other families. It's like Father's Day weekend. It's all these guys who are wannabes like me that are going to be there, and we're in a parking lot. So, but you get to open it up. I think I got up to like 110 in the Lamborghini on the back stretch, and you come around. So you get 3 laps. That's all you get. So you get 1 lap with the pro, and then 3 laps where you drive. The pro drives you through, and then they shift for you. So you're going, and you learn the fast in, slow in, fast out kind of thing on turns. And I'm watching the guy before me, and I'm thinking, oh, man, I hope, you don't want to screw up. You hope you kind of look cool. I don't know. It's all this, a little bit of anxiety. I watch this guy. So now they're going to pull over for him and the driver to switch. They do that, and on the way out, the guy's waving at his family and stuff, and he drives over cones.
When they change, is it like a Chinese fire drill? Everybody just jumps out.
But they're the little thing.
Like those soccer game cones?
Yeah, they're
You gotta
like,
warm up.
Well, they're tiny. They're tiny cones. And don't forget, when you're in a Lamborghini, and the whole thing with driving is you're looking down the road.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see directly in front of you in a Lamborghini because it's so low to the ground.
Yeah.
Like something right in front of you is hard
if you've
to
ever
see.
seen a Lamborghini in action, it's like a snake.
Yeah. So this guy rolled over and he's waving to his family and stuff, and he's starting to go, and then the driver, like they're all pissed, and they're yelling at him and stuff, and they're making him pull. And for whatever reason, I went, phew, I won't do that bad. And it made me feel better that this guy did it. But when those cones get underneath, that's what I'm saying. Like when you're yanking, sometimes there's hoses, wires, clamps, things. You could have ripped something off that lady's car, and who knew?
Yeah, it was just off the front bumper. So I'm trying very carefully to get it out, but at the same time, there's another car coming up behind me. You do not want to cause a car accident in a car wash.
Well, the number one.
Have you ever been in a car wash when there's a car accident up front?
No,
Oh, I have.
It really?
There's this bell that goes off, and then you're sitting there like it's in a rainstorm with soap, and you just got to wait for it to clear out.
So there was an accident leaving
the car wash. I've been in the car wash twice where there have been accidents in the car wash, like because some idiot tries driving off before he's supposed to, or somebody grabs the wheel.
That's the biggest issue.
You can't
they
touch
jump the rail.
You can't touch the wheel.
That's not an accident then. That's
or they put your foot on the brake, or they jump the rail.
But the point is that the car you stop, but the car behind you is coming.
What do they do when it jumps the rail?
They got to shut it down and figure out how to get it back on.
Yeah.
Do they jack the car up and then move it over onto the rail?
First person would have to tell us that.
They'd have to
own them or work at them.
He runs the grease splash.
The grease
old
splash.
Buckman's.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I say, And this one was
pain in the
It's kind of just gave me this terse wave. Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey,
parking lots.
I don't help people.
Honey, learn how to drive.
Parking lots
Get the stickers off the back of your car and learn how to drive.
I think there's. What did the sticker say?
Oh, there was
Coexist.
I'm not going to say.
Please
I'm not
tell
gonna
me
say.
there was a coexist one.
Oh no, but it was
Please
along that. It was along that
I
rainbow
like that.
spectrum.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it's along that spectrum.
What?
Let's put it that
what's
way.
What's wrong with the whole?
Because you know what kind of
love.
because here's why. Those people who put the coexist stickers in the back of their car are the most intolerant people you'll ever meet.
Not always.
No,
I'm
they
looking
are.
At an intolerant Christian.
The Christians
yelling at everybody.
I love everybody. I want everybody to find Jesus, even the evil people. Because guess what? I'm evil too. Okay, but for crying out loud,
We can't even coexist at this table.
All right, so but I think parking lots are where you have the most accidents.
dude, Henrietta has the worst parking lot experience of any city.
I would think I think it's a mess over there.
Oh yeah.
It's a mess.
First of all, at least at Wegmans, okay, they have somebody going after those carts that people leave behind.
Yes.
When you go to a Target or a Home Depot or a Lowe's or just name
they're
it,
anywhere.
Oh, dude, like they commingle with other carts at other.
Well, the worst part about Henrietta parking lots too is they're all somehow interconnected. You can get
They're all-
from
yes.
like
No, not all of
390
them.
at Highland.
But that's the thing; they're not
to
all interconnected.
Jefferson.
They're not all interconnected. So you think they are. So you're driving through thinking you can get through.
Oh,
and
no,
you
they
realize,
are.
No, they're not. I've been through enough. Some of them are, but not all of them. So now you got to so people get lost. They think they're interconnected. Then they have to get back on the road. The problem
they're
is
not
you can't just.
engineered really well.
No,
some
and
of
the
these
other thing
parking
too
lots.
is some of them are round, right? So these idiots just drive through instead of taking the lanes like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
They just drive through all the empty lots and they crash into people. I mean, it's a freaking
it's
nightmare.
bumper cars. over
Yeah,
there. It is. It's bumper cars. I think that most of your defensive driving skills would be used in a parking lot. And they should be.
Yes.
I mean, you got to be really, really careful because you're tight in there. There's people, unexpected things. A cart gets away from somebody.
There's
a
more
kid
cars-
gets away from somebody.
There's more cars than there are spaces in some of these places,
Yeah.
these plazas.
Yeah.
These
I mean,
strip
even
malls.
Victor, to a certain extent, sometimes out by the mall, that Target and stuff. I always try to park.
Eastview's a pain.
I try to park far away.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because sometimes you just can't get in and out of there.
Even at church, I try to park as far away as possible.
What?
And then people find
That's not
me.
very tolerant.
It's not tolerant. I'm trying to avoid problems. Dude, like at one time at Wegmans, right, I'm parked as far away as possible, right? This one young mother, she's got like 5 kids.
Here we go. Mr. Tolerant, everybody.
putting
Mr.
kids-
Tolerant.
She's
Mr.
putting-
Tolerant.
I'm accepting.
Are you?
I'm accepting.
It sounds it.
But let's be fair here. Everybody makes
She's about to be-
mistakes.
she's
And people get distracted. This young mother, she had to be about 20. She got like 5 kids. I don't think they were all hers, obviously. She's probably babysitting, right? Maybe none of them were kids.
Maybe they had different daddies.
Getting details over
Yeah,
here.
so we know.
So
Okay.
she's putting the one baby in the car seat. She's got groceries, right? She's driving this F-150. This thing is huge, right? So while she's putting the kid in the car seat, the other kids are screwing around. What do? Hey, let's take the cart and race.
Yeah.
And they let go of the cart, and what does it do? It runs right into my car. The mother sees it. She goes, "Oh, it didn't hurt nothing. Come on, baby, let's go." I'm like,
I'm pretty sure she was driving a Dodge Ram, by the way. It wasn't an F-150.
but the point is, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, somebody who
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The point is that I'm like, wait, that's it. You left a huge dent in the side. I can still point it out to you if you want to see it.
You have a
left
dent?
a huge dent in the side of my car. Your best. It didn't hurt nothing. Yeah, it's not your freaking car.
Christians
Watch your
should forgive.
freaking kids.
Forgive, Dan. Forgive.
Why don't you get out, take her license plate, and make a
Forgiveness.
complaint? You should have done that.
And a Florida license plate.
No.
Yeah, good luck getting that money.
All right, there you go.
Forgiveness, Dan.
We'll take a moment, Danny. Woo! Wow!
I'm
Wow!
gonna pour him a whiskey in a minute.
Did a nice thing, and it made him angry. No good deed goes unpunished,
Billy.
That's right. No
why I
good
don't
deed
help.
goes unpunished.
Now I know how Jesus feels.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You're right.
We'll crucify it in a couple of weeks.
Stop. Don't say that. That's not.
We will take a moment. There was an interesting little exchange. Well, we'll do this. Valentine's Day is Wednesday of this week.
Yeah.
And
Pay attention, fellas.
yeah, pay attention.
It's about you. It's not, it's about her, but
pay
you gotta do the
attention.
work.
We've got some ideas for you.
Okay.
But loneliness is a health risk.
Yes.
And we'll explain why.
I've heard.
We'll get to that next. But first,